and welcome to the Power Up Talk Show, a talk show where we bring together community leaders and inspirational people that are making a difference in our world. I'm Sandy Spady, your host, and welcome to the journey. We have Andrea McCarter. Did I say that right?
McCarter.
I love that. Okay. Just a little background on Andrea. She's a co-owner of Clothes Mentor Omaha, Nebraska's first location of the national women's resale brand. With a background in wireless sales, recruiting, corporate HR, Andrea brings 15 years seasoned experience. She has, her and her sister launched the Clothes Mentor Northwest Omaha in 2023, and it offers quality secondhand fashion in a stylish way. Andrea has two beautiful girls, Johanna.
Yes.
And Stella.
That's right.
All right, Andrea, welcome to the show. I'm so excited to have you today.
Me too.
How do you go from corporate life to fashion life?
You have that one boss that just pushes you over the edge.
Yeah, and it's always one person. You're like, I'm taking this job and shoving it. Yeah.
No, I had some really great experiences in the corporate world, and everywhere I went, I did well, and I kept getting promoted, but for some reason, I'd go so far, and then I'd think, this can't be it, or is this, real, and what's not real, and all of that. And so somewhere along the way, I did get really lucky, and I got to work with some amazing women and men, for that matter, who taught me about myself and made me really learn more about myself. So I could really find out that I am a business owner, and that's really why I would always get stuck in the corporate world. Yeah.
So what made you decide, there's a lot of franchise out there. What made you decide to go with Clothes Mentor?
We knew about this. We've known about this franchise for about 8 years. My sister and I are co-owners, and my sister she was a vendor for this franchise for about 7 years before we moved forward with starting one. And so periodically she would come to me and say, oh my gosh, we need to bring this to Omaha. We need to do this. But at the time, neither one of us thought of ourselves as business owners. I had big dreams and plans in the HR and recruiting world until one day I didn't. And I called her up, no joke. I was sitting on the couch looking at different things, and I texted her and I said, what about Clothes Mentor? Should I send an application? And she said, okay. And 3 months later, we're writing a check for our franchise fee. It was just the right time, I think.
And is that all in Nebraska? What other states? Like, what's your territory? How does that work?
Well, so there are 130-ish Clothes Mentors around the country. They're all privately owned by individuals. Some people own multiples. But for some reason, there was just kind of a pocket in this Omaha, Iowa, Nebraska region. There's 3 down in Kansas City that do really well. We're close to the owners down there. But for some reason, it just wasn't here. And I think it was truly because my sister and I were always supposed to be the ones to bring it here. But there's a great network of other owners around the country. But yes, we all operate individually.
How do you find, or where do you begin, or what advice can you give to our audience about starting your business? Like you said, I wasn't a business owner. I just decided to do it. Like, what advice, what can you share? Some struggles, some great things with the audience?
Yeah, number one is trusting your gut and your intuition. And that's just number one. It's scary. It is a risk no matter what. If you get lucky enough to start a business with very little overhead and very little, low barrier to entry, more power to you. Go for it. If you feel it, do it. But you have to trust your gut through the whole process, and know that you're going to make mistakes, and know that you don't know everything. And the first year or 2 or 3 is really just for learning and really understanding and kind of constantly being better. If the reason you're not starting a business is the financial reasons, trust me, you can live on a lot less than you think. And quite frankly, it sometimes is a lot more simple and better for your family. But talk to me if you ever want to know how to make it happen, because I promise you it's possible and it's all worth it.
Yeah. We had our one-on-one, and she told me what she lived on per month. And I was like, oh, I need your help. How do you do that? And you can, right? You just have to figure
comfortably.
things out.
You can do it.
I think that's wonderful. That's another whole thing you could do when you have free time you don't have.
Yeah.
Right? But I love that you offer that to one-on-one. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Tell us about, the retail world, right? My mother had Corner Closet for 15 years in Northwest, Nebraska. She just started it. And it's a lot of hard work. It's physical work. It's retail, right? Hours.
Yes.
Finding help. You're also like, recruiting. Thank goodness you have that in the background.
Yes.
And managing people. Like
Yeah.
everyone, when I was a district manager for the Buckle and Vanity stores, so many people wanted to be the manager, but they can't manage people, right?
Yeah.
So tell me about it. How do you manage your people? How do you get out there? How do you promote it? How do you begin it?
Yeah, that's all phenomenal questions. So we've been I will say we've been very lucky that the right people have been attracted to our brand and what we do and what my sister and I are really trying to build. And so we've got a handful of individuals who have been with us since the beginning, which is truly amazing. First and foremost, the one thing I learned in recruiting is flexibility and truly understanding people. I used to interview over 500 people a year, and they were in all different levels of their career. And so that was a blessing because I learned a lot about personalities and just understanding the human behind like the person, right? Yeah. Understanding the person. And so, yeah, so we, when we built it, we felt like, oh, we're going to be right on Maple Street and there's 80,000 cars that go up and down every day. And if you build it, they'll come, right?
Yeah.
No, that's not true. That's not true at all. It takes a lot of footwork. And marketing is expensive, but you also have to balance that out with understanding that if I pay for digital ads, that's only going to bring in X amount, right? It's not the answer.
Yeah.
And just truly understanding how all of the pieces of marketing work, but also none of that matters if your customers don't like you. So hiring the right people who want to be there. We're flexible with our team's hours and their shifts and what they do. They help each other out. So it's always a fun job for them and it never feels like work or they're being taken away from their families. It's the opposite. Sometimes it's nice to get away from the house,
sometimes
right?
you want, like, I got called. Yeah.
Yep, sometimes it's kind of nice. But because they're happy, because we give them that space, ultimately customers feel the same way. And the space is all of ours. We all know, everybody knows what our goal is, my sister and I, what our goal is. And so it just makes it a little bit easier, but it's a lot of moving parts. And we're always figuring out where to move money here or take money here. And maybe this is a new audience and maybe this. Some of it's just kind of a crapshoot. But at the end of the day, the number one thing is the word of mouth, and it's how people feel when they walk in the door.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. I love retail.
Yes.
So as far as community, right?
Yes.
We're in Centersphere together.
Yes.
I know that really networking and getting your name out there. We're hosting our Women with Voices event there to get people in the door.
Yeah.
You're sharing your journey of your story, not really, what you do, but like the story behind the story. That's what Women with Voices is about. Tell us some tricks of the trade of how did you get involved with the community and network?
Well, I got very lucky, and I was invited into Centersphere about 4 years ago when I was an IT recruiter.
Oh.
And truthfully, that was a terrible profession to have in Centersphere. It's just too niche. But I didn't care because the group that I was part of, I didn't realize at the time, but they were teaching me how to network.
Absolutely.
They were teaching me a lot about owning businesses. And even at the time, I didn't know that I was going to be owning a business, but I learned so much about referrals and the business community and what it takes, and some of the businesses that had failed with some of the individuals in our Centersphere group and some that had thrived. And so I had started building this network. I just couldn't really use it because of the field that I was in. And that was a big part. In fact, I do attribute a lot of the reason why I thought I could start this business to Centersphere because of all of the great people that I've met. And it's real, Not everybody has been overly successful. Everybody has had a journey. But it just made me realize that no matter what, it's hard. But it's the hard that you choose, and it's the people that you know. Yeah. And I wouldn't have been able to be this successful without the network that I have. I lean into the community as much as I possibly can. I support the community as much as I can, and they come back and support me too.
Well, let's talk about the community because I love talking about community connections.
Me too.
We were recently at the Boys Town Booster, which I'm a member of, and I think you're going to soon be one. Hopefully, yeah. What do you see as a benefit of being involved with nonprofit? Sorry, my mitt burning my throat, but I need them, right? I need my mitts. How do you pick out your nonprofit you choose to be a part of?
Yeah. Oh, good question. So we're just very supportive of anybody that is really truly in need of what we have to offer. And there's quite a few things that we do within the different nonprofit world. So number one, there are just items that we can't buy from individuals. Maybe they've been a little too worn, they're a little too dated, whatever that may be, but they still have good life in them. We want to get those into the hands of people who truly need them. There are a lot of nonprofits around Omaha, and we'd love to support everybody. Some nonprofits just get a little bit more support than others do. Some have a bigger need in different ways. And so we put it out there. We put ourselves out there on our Facebook or on different groups on Facebook, and we say, truly, who is a women's nonprofit in need? Who needs these items? And they come to us. And so we built some really good relationships. Santa Monica House was one that we worked with early on, and they just don't get a lot. They didn't put a lot, they don't have the time to really put into getting in all these clothes, right? And so we were able to bring them bags and bags of clothing to support the women who come in off the street with almost nothing and maybe leave 90 days later with still nothing, right? Women's Center for Advancement is always looking for items we like to bring to them. And there have been different churches that are trying to fill their closets. And so they're always free to come in and grab, 2, 3, 4 bags, whatever it is that they want. If it's coming from us, it could be things that we just didn't sell on our clearance rack. Great items just didn't find their right home. They're in great shape. They know that it's something that they can put on in their career closets or whatever they may have. But it's truly important to us, and we do support different fundraisers, and we give gift cards, and we give prizes, and we buy tables to different women's events. We do work to support not just women-run nonprofits, but women are the core and the center of what we do. Yeah. Kind of the core and center of everything.
Don't tell me that twice. Women with voices. Yes, yeah, it's beautiful. Yeah. What is a great story that you have? Like, let's say you have a closet confession.
Oh,
I came up with
confession?
That.
That's
anything that's like a fun story, hilarious. Like, I can't believe that just happened in our store. Like, anything fun you can share. Closet confession.
Closet confessions and fun.
Yes.
Most of what I have would maybe shock you, but not so much fun. Just really surprising, I would say.
Anything you can share on public TV.
Okay, I will say this. Ladies, please wear undergarments. Unless you don't want to sell your clothes, wear undergarments. We know when you don't, and we can't resell that, and it's really important.
That's like a new thing, I think, lately with young people. I'm like, what? What? Get some underwear on. Gross.
I don't know. I can't do it personally. I am not here to tell you what to do or what not to do. But if you want to sell your clothes. If you
want to sell, resell.
Yes.
That's so good to know.
Please do so.
Yeah, I didn't know that you probably can.
I never considered it.
Never considered that when you signed up for that, but it's happening.
It's amazing.
Wow. Any other fun ones? Any, like, maybe some great customer stories?
Oh, you know what? We've had quite a few. Especially, it was interesting because when we started this is really when the height of like Ozempic and some of these weight loss, right? When that was really popular. And so we've watched a lot of our customers lose tremendous amounts of weight, honestly. And we didn't realize it when we opened, but we didn't know how important we were going to be to these women's journeys. Wow. We've developed really good relationships with a lot of women who, maybe they've dropped 50 pounds, but they have 100 more they're going to drop, but they can't fit into the clothes they're wearing. And so we've been able to supplement their closets at a low cost throughout their process. And not only do we do that, but we also buy in the clothes that they, hope to never wear again, right? And so another woman in her journey, whatever that may be, it's her turn for those items, right?
Oh, that's a great story.
So no matter where you are, if you're weight loss, weight gain, whatever it is, whether you're perimenopause, postmenopause, post-children, women, we have it rough. Our bodies are constantly changing, except for those that maybe are super lucky and they don't change. But the majority of us, we do, right? Yeah. We have that second kid and our hips grow by 4 inches, whatever that is. So we're a place where it's comfortable for you and we get to know you and you don't have to feel awkward or weird, even though you will. We all do, right? When our bodies change and we don't know what to do with ourselves anymore, and we feel uncomfortable in whatever skin we're in now because it's not the body we were used to. But there's still great ways to style ourselves. We can still love ourselves.
Because our clothes never really go bad. We just get bored with them.
We get
That's
bored
what's
with
so
them.
nice I noticed with my mom's consignment store 15 years is that someone's just tired of it.
Yeah.
Even baby clothes too, right? You don't do
Yeah.
baby clothes, but my mom did baby clothes. And, a lot of those new moms want something new. They can't afford them.
Yeah.
It's nice to have something because they grow out of them so fast.
Exactly.
The beauty. But I also know firsthand
Yes.
how much physical labor it is.
Yes.
No one would guess, but you have to carry in the bags, do the merchandising, do that. So it's really like a real retail store. And since I've been in your store and it's so pretty,
Thank you.
it doesn't feel like consignment. And my mom, I seem to do that too. What is it like the biggest challenge or the hardest thing that you didn't see? Right, my mom never saw like how much physical labor it is. What did you find out after 3 years almost, right?
Yeah. Yes.
That you're like, ooh, I didn't know that would be the thing.
Truly, it's the labor.
Yeah.
And I think that's truly the piece that is so hidden in the community and just in the consumer's eyes, right? So, you're bringing in a tub and let's say it holds about 100 items.
Yeah.
Sometimes we can really pack them in there. So it holds about 100 items. I have somebody who is checking that in. I have somebody who's going to go through each one of those items individually, enter them in the system. Then they go over and get tagged. Then they go online, some of it, most of it. And then they get put on the floor. This is multiple people's jobs now. And then they hold space on a rack. And if they don't sell, they've just taken 4 months of a hanger space, right? And so the way that we had started out wanting to run the store is very different than what we've realized we really need to do, which is labor efficiency, and educating the customers and really understanding, how you bring things in. Because when they bring things in, if our customers bring them in folded nicely in a bag or whatever, and in a tote, we can go through things much faster, right? We can get to the next person's things and the next person's things. And ultimately it keeps costs down because labor's in any retail space. And when you have a team of people, that's gonna be one of your biggest costs. But at the same time, if we do it right and we are all kind of playing the right part, we can keep those costs down. We can keep the cost of the goods down. We're lucky because we don't get impacted by the tariffs.
Yeah.
But at the same time, just the economy in general impacts everybody. And so we just have to be really good business owners, and we have to be good employers and good stewards of our time and our customers' times, and just understanding how that all balances out. But it is also why when you come into my store, you might pay $10.99 for a secondhand loft top, right?
Yeah.
You might be able to find the same one at Goodwill for $4.99, but they did not put any effort into knowing, are there tears, rips, holes, stains, how old is it, all of that. They didn't do that work for you. So it's your job to kind of you have to do that. For us, you pay to not have to do that.
Yeah.
So
do you prefer, how does it work? So I have a bunch, I clean up my closet, here's a tote of clothes. How does it work? How can you explain that to someone that's never done it?
Absolutely.
I know how to do it, but most people might be new.
Fold your items, the items that you didn't wear a ton, or maybe it's just a really good quality blazer that has a ton of life left in it. Items usually within the last, I'd say 5 years or so. Anything after that, the cut changes and it doesn't fit right? And so those items that still have a lot of good life left in them, bring them in. Like I said, fold it in a structured container. And then usually we can get those items looked through while you're still there, as long as I have somebody on staff that can do the buying, which we usually do. And then you're going to get cash for the items that we can take and that we can sell. And then you can donate the items that we don't take, or obviously they're yours to take back. But we do offer to donate to the nonprofits that we work with. You can also get store credit. So we pay cash on the spot, or we'll pay you 25% more in store credit, which never expires. And that's just your account that kind of sits there. When you feel like I want to go get some summer dresses, you can stop in. You've got the money already in there. Nice. And, future you will thank past you for the little gift that you left her.
I didn't know they did that. That's smart.
Yeah. So it's 25% more, which is nice. And it's a good payout.
Wow. And do you prefer them to have clean, like wash, iron, dry cleaned, or do you do that, or how does that work?
Just laundered. Laundered is important. Not necessarily a need for dry cleaning, but just launder the items, make sure they're clean. I, for one, think that we overwash our clothing. All of us do. Jeans should not be washed nearly as often as we wash them. But just remember what you've put back in your closet and then make sure that it gets laundered, because that's something we're going to be looking for. Our customers definitely have a high expectation for us and what that we're going to sell to them. And so, yeah, if there's any stains or any of that, we'll probably give it back and just ask you to bring it back laundered. Okay. So on your end, that's all we ask for. Laundered, folded, no hangers, put in a structured container, bring on into us. We'll take it from there.
And then you set up an account, and then that's accounts there.
An account. That's just yours.
That's interesting. I didn't know that you already pay them up front. Like my mom would say, and then once they sold it, they would get a percentage.
Yeah, so that's the other piece.
So that's nice.
Yeah, we're paying up front for all of our items.
Yeah.
And you can earn more in consignment, but you're also taking the risk that they may or may not sell. For us, you don't have to worry about whether we sell them or not. Yeah. You get your cash, you get your store credit, you're free and clear, and you don't ever come back for your items again. So that's kind of the trade-off.
Nice. Mm-hmm. What do you feel in the fashion trends now? What are you looking for? Are you taking fall right now, right? I mean, you have to be a step ahead. I remember getting swimsuits in January at my stores and like, oh gosh, it's a blizzard. We're unpacking swimsuits, right?
Yes, yeah. So we're going to be celebrating our 2nd anniversary in June. And so we're still in that phase of, we don't like to have too much in the back. We like to have everything out front. And so we are still buying spring, summer items. Somewhere around June, July is when we're really going to hit fall items hard. So if you are looking to clean out your closet, now is a great time to bring in those shorts or tank tops or whatever really isn't fitting you well, or just things you don't like. They're not your color, they're not your style, whatever that is. And then sometime around June, July would be a great time to start bringing in those sweaters, jeans, long sleeves, coats. It's always good to go through your closet before that season. Instead of cleaning out your fall, winter stuff in the spring, do it right before. So you know what you need and what you don't need.
Nice.
Yeah.
Do you have a big storage room? I remember my mom's back storage room was just be like clothes, bars of clothes.
That is what ours looks like. Yeah. It depends on which month it is and if we're running a sale, but we typically like to have all of our inventory on the floor as much as we possibly can. And so we do run on a needs-based buying program. So our reports tell us, hey, you have X amount of dresses that, you have enough dresses for 6 months. Well, I probably don't want to keep buying dresses when I'm really short on jackets or whatever it may be, right? So then we try to just allocate our dollars in the right way. We're buying nonstop every day, and we never know what's going to come in. Sometimes a lot of people come in, sometimes not that many people come in. And so overall, it usually evens out throughout the month, but we have to just always be good stewards of that inventory dollars. We don't just buy twice a year at market. It's constant.
Yeah.
So and we'll have some extra stuff in the back when we need to. You think your back room is big enough until you really fill it up. And
yes.
We do all of our online pictures back there. We do online shipping. We ship all over the country. Wow. So now we have boxes, and we have all of the donation items, and then we have our back stock and hangers and all kinds of stuff.
Oh yeah, I know. Yeah. So much fun. I didn't realize that you had an online account. Is it just for Clothes Mentor all over, or is it your location?
Well, it's both. So clothesmentor.com would link you to any Clothes Mentor around the country. And I strongly recommend surfing through clothesmentor.com because the stores around the country, we're all different. We all accept different kinds of things, but we have the same clientele demographic. And so you'll find some really great luxury, great designer for, still 70% off of full retail price. But you can shop omahane.clothesmentor.com, and you can search for us within Clothes Mentor as well. You can find our location and just shop our store. And then we do offer local pickup, and we'll ship anywhere.
So you have the items in your store now.
Yes.
And then you put them on your website, and if they go, then they're off your website and you refill it.
Yep. The minute they get purchased on our website, we ship that out to whatever. We ship all over the country too. The bulk of what we do online is going to be around the country, but we'd love for more women locally to know about our local pickup. It's just an easier way to shop.
Yeah.
You can try it on when you come in. We've already pulled the items for you.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. I love fashion my entire life, right? Decades of retail. What's one fashion trend you would never want to see back, and what's one that you are dying for it to get in fashion again?
Oh, I hope we never see the low-rise jeans of the early 2000s.
Okay.
Low-rise is okay for some,
Yes.
but they were low,
Yeah.
low, low, low.
We all can admit, we all know
Oh my
what we're
God.
talking about
And
without
so, yeah, so I really hope that never comes back, because I will not, my, mom's C-section belly is not going to do well in low-rise jeans again. And one that I love, I'm a pretty classic look. So I don't know. I actually kind of hope skinny jeans never truly go away.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like women, we get to a certain age and we're like, we don't really want to be told anymore what's right,
That's
what's
what's
not
new
right.
with fashion now. Anything goes. It
Yeah.
really does. Some are a little bit more popular.
Yeah, skinny
But-
jeans are great and they're a good silhouette for a lot of people. And maybe
Yeah.
not for everybody, but you can modernize it too, and you can update your look a little bit, but still keep those jeans. Don't get rid of all your skinny jeans.
I think they're good for business wear with jackets. I wear mine with jackets a lot. And
They're
where it's-
sleek.
Yeah, they're sleek. They don't know their jeans sometimes.
Exactly. Don't get rid of all your skinny jeans.
How
just
about
yet.
shoulder pads?
That's a no from me.
I had to put it out there. I'm a class of 86. I had a lot of shoulder pads. Some of them weren't too sweet. And they had tuxedo shoulder pads with the tuxedo bow. I wish they would bring back little tiny ties from the 80s. The girls used to wear the ties. Taylor, our Taylor,
Yeah.
I mean Tina,
Tina.
our Tina Swanson,
Yeah.
going to be at the One with Voices event sharing
Yeah.
her stylist secrets. She was starting to wear them. I'm like, yeah, let's bring it back.
I like
girl.
the tie.
I do too.
I like it.
The
It's a
skinny
power
one.
look.
Yes. So, Andrea, how can they get a hold of you? What can we share? We have a few seconds left. How to
We're
find you?
located on 149th and Maple in Northwest Omaha. We are open 10 to 7 during the week, and Saturdays and Sundays 10 to 6, and then 12 to 5 on Sundays. We're online. Like I said, you can shop omahane.clothesmentor.com. You can find us on Facebook. You can find us on Instagram. We're pretty easy to find. We're all over the place. But truly come in, take a look, and I think you'll be pleasantly surprised and potentially a repeat customer.
Yay, I love that. Thank you for being my guest.
Yeah.
All right, go find a new outfit. Clothes Mentor, right on Maple Street. It's a great location, easy parking. But just go spoil yourself, right?
Yes.
We all need to spoil ourselves. So thank you again. And everyone, go make it the best day ever.